Hello and welcome to CIO News. I am Khushbu Soni, your host for the broadcast and chief editor at CIO News. This is our interview series powered by CII and Tata Communications. It is an event that was conducted by CII on CIO Conclave and Excellence Awards 2022. And we are driving this series to interact with all the leaders who received an award to quickly have a conversation with them to understand their thought process, their learnings, and if they can share some of the best practices through this platform for all of us to learn. So on that, today I have our guest. He is Hitesh Singla, the co-founder and CIO at Square Yards. Hitesh has 20 plus years of experience. He founded Square Yards in 2015. And since then, since the inception, in fact, 4 years since inception, Square Yards has already become India's largest real estate aggregator with 1,400 people and presence across 10 plus countries in 32 cities. I'm sure the numbers would have changed by now, but tremendous work. Square Yards is a technology-enabled O2O transaction and aggregator platform for global real estate. Hitesh, pleasure to have you today, and congratulations once again for achieving the award at CIO Conclave.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Khushbu, for having me, and thank you for your wishes for the award.
Fantastic. I wanted to start our discussion, Hitesh, if you can share some insights in the current ecosystems and that are effective and to connect large companies and small disruptors and foster innovation across value chains. Do you feel the small-time disruptions can bring about a wholesome change in the value delivered to the end customers? Your thoughts on that?
So once you become a large enough, it's difficult to move. Like when we were young kids, we learned about dinosaurs, that if you just tinkle with their tails, it used to take half an hour of their brain to get that signal and turn around that somebody has tinkled with my tail. So the large organizations, once they grow, they become like a dinosaurs. They're big enough to get to the signal, the brain and the tail, they are widen. The gap between the two is very huge. So what small interrupters can do is help them come up with fast solutions to specific edge cases. Okay, if you have a smaller problem or you identified one edge case, you can give it to a small disruptor, or the small disruptor by their own can also judge that this kind of issues, if they are facing at their organization, the big organization might be also be facing the similar kind of issues, and they can come up with their own solution and propose it to the larger organization. And so this is the one part. And if you want to, you have a hypothesis, okay, if you want to test it, then also small disruptors can help you better with the faster testing of that use case. Once you test with a small amount of users, or at the same hypothesis in one use case, then the results you can implement at a larger level. So I think this is the faster execution and a small set of use case. I see that these two areas where small disruptors can really help the bigger organizations.
Great, great. Do you see, I mean, from the last couple of years, we've seen organizations talking about employee experience, customer experience. Do you believe that organizations need to go beyond the employee and the customer experience and start thinking about enabling total experience that can encompass all stakeholders, from the employee to the partner to the customer and the user?
So I would say the total experience engulf both of them, employee experience as well as customer experience. It brings customer experience to an omni-channel platform. See earlier, if you take the example of the old call center days, right? So people used to, for each and every issue, the customer have to call someone at the company, be it a technological issue or a normal pricing issue, whatever it is. So they have to call a support help desk. Okay, the person who is answering the call may not be powered enough to help on the spot resolution of the to the customer. Okay, so what total transformation brings is it brings your whole planning ecosystem real time integrated with the execution. So once you bring your planning ecosystem to execution at the execution level, so your customers and your employees and other stakeholders, if there are any, like if there's a field force, or if they are headquarters, or if there's a backend team, so all they come together and they work on a very interconnected layers of IT systems. So rather than customer support taking the issues, then reporting it to the some backend team, then backend team resolving it, or getting the permissions to change something if it is required. So those all those systems, they get integrated at the total experience level, and so customers get a better experience. Your call volume for the support volume, it drops, because you get some solutions you get at chat, or just a ping on a WhatsApp itself, or a small SMS. So those all the experience that's the strategy of bringing the total experience, the omni-channel for customers, and bringing a single device usage for the employees, and taking your planning to the execution level with the help of the IT systems.
Absolutely. Great use case. Thank you for sharing that, Hitesh. If you can talk about what are your key expectations from the service providers in your transformation journey? And like, what are the top business priorities laid out, for your business in 2023?
Yeah, so as of now, we don't use external technology providers for the execution of the IT solutions. So whatever we have is our in-house team who do development for us. Our complete ERP solution is in-house developed, and but whatever solutions we would like, if in future need to go outside service providers, the key expectation would be alignment of the priorities what we have with our stakeholders, be it customers or employees. And so the priority of it should be there, and then the customization of the solution, because as of now, we the one solution works for all is not there. So each and every service provider who need to work with us have to provide a very customized solution which takes care of our needs.
Right. Got it. Hitesh, how do you see the role of CIO evolving in the next 2-3 years?
So if you see CIOs a decade back or so was the technology enabler. It used to provide just the IT solutions to the organization, from the internet connectivity to the devices. Okay, but with the advent of the people moving on to more and more connected devices, everything moved to everything got more digitized. Okay, so even from the business transformation models have become very important. So once you start implement the transformation of the business model, if you take in your hands, you become a partner in the business. So you are the stakeholder in the business strategy. You give inputs to how the business model can be implemented, can be tweaked, the whole strategy, how it is affecting, what are the areas which are lagging us, how the competition is doing better on those areas. So you become a stakeholder of the business planning team.
Right.
So not because you have more insights, you have more data, you have more numbers on how things are working, where the customer is dropping, at what point. So you can provide those solutions. Like I was checking one paper use case. So how they started working on the dropping of the PayPal accounts. So how the IT team came up with. It was more than 100 million revenue transformation they did, identifying why the users are dropping at a certain point. So that's how the CIOs can help. If you improve your customer experience and identify the areas which are required improvements, and be part of the business planning. And
absolutely, I think very rightly said. It's no more only technology, because now businesses are on tech, right? So somehow CIOs are required to be a business leader than just being a technology leader. And since everything is now driven, the entire organization's business is on tech. So very rightly said. Hitesh, what are the major challenges? I mean, especially with after the pandemic, how are you looking at accessing the new hyper-connected global ecosystems that's evolving?
So I would say it's not a challenge. I would say it's an opportunity. We always wanted things to be moving in this direction. We always wanted that people have better connectivity, better solutions, and pandemic has fastened that process.
Right.
So we anticipate that things will move, but what pandemic did, it moved it a bit faster. The
Right.
expectations have all those things which we thought that might be there after 3 or 4 years, they are now. And the solutions need to be ready now. So when the users are hyper connected, always on internet and high speed internet,
Yeah.
and with the patient's level decreasing day by day, so the solutions need to be come out. The problems, the resolutions, those need to be done at the in faster. So that's the challenge. That how you come up with you keep on resolving things at the speed the expectations. There's expectation of the client side. So that's the one of the challenge. But definitely, it was bound to happen, and so I would say pandemic has just fastened it up with in all those things which was bound to happen in 3-4 years of the time. They happened in 1 year. Rest I will not blame pandemic to be to enable anything or disrupting anything.
True. True. Hitesh, your views on CII and Tata Communications Center for Digital Transformation as a cross initiative, industry cross initiative.
So actually, I got in touch with CII when they approached me for the nomination, and they are carrying those awards. I was not aware of. I was aware of the organization, the CII and CDT.
Yeah.
They work, but I was not aware that they have. Actually, I was aware about CII, but I was not aware of CDT. There is a arm which helps in people taking the small organization taking digital.
Yeah.
So I came across once I nominated for the award, and they appreciated my effort, and I got the award as well. And then I got to know that CDT is working with small organizations, and so they have also asked me if I can spend some hours to help the other organizations. So I have given my affirmation that okay, if they work with me, I can give some hours a week helping.
Sure.
But yet I'm not involved in any other initiative other than my own organization as of now.
Great, great conversation with you, Hitesh. Thank you so much for sharing all your perspectives on the way forward, and how have you've kind of perceived the changes in the market, right? So, any last piece of advice that you would like to share with organizations or viewers, CIO viewers who will be watching this interview?
A last piece of advice would be don't hold on your gut feeling. So if you feel you need to implement something, and persist it with your higher management, and definitely that risk which will be worth taking, and so the data which you have will never lie. Okay, so you persist and with your recommendation to your higher management and get approvals for the enablement.
Great. Thank you so much, Hitesh, once again for joining us on CIO News platform and sharing all your valuable insights.
Thank you, Khushbu.
Pleasure talking to you. Thank you.